Hey guys! Welcome to the Turkish Star Files channel. All the juicy details are coming up, so don't forget to subscribe and share before we dive in. Thank you for being with us tonight, because what we're hearing from the set corridors is the kind of whisper that makes an entire season turn its head. Word in the entertainment circles is that Yağmur Yüksel has stepped into a surprisingly pivotal role behind the curtain of the upcoming series Sahipsizler, a project already being described on set as the quiet storm of the new season. The rumor isn't small. Sources claim she personally sat down with the director to make the case for bringing in Barış Baktaş, the one name she believes can ignite the exact spark the story needs. And as soon as this spread among crew and agency phones, the chatter swelled like a wave. Those who've watched Yağmur closely in recent months know how her presence has sharpened, disciplined, confident, but still grounded in that soft-spoken calm that has won her a devoted fanbase. Insiders tell us that the moment she finished reading the script of Sahipsizler, she circled key scenes and notes, then went straight to the creative team with a measured but unmistakable insistence. The show, particularly in its later episodes, would soar with a male character capable of carrying a complicated emotional load. In that conversation, one name kept coming up: Barış Baktaş. People familiar with the meeting describe it as warm, almost familial. There were no raised voices, no diva demands, only the kind of intense, focused exchange that happens when everyone at the table wants the same thing: for the series to land with force. Yağmur, they say, didn't posture as just the leading face on the poster. She positioned herself as a teammate ready to fight for the best version of the story. She broke down what Barış brings: the layered restraint, the magnetic quiet, the way he lets vulnerability flicker under the surface without ever tipping into melodrama. The director listened, the room listened, and the conversation turned into a long, serious look at how he could be woven into the fabric of the show. What's interesting is that this posture has not only impressed the creative staff but also lit up the fan pages. Comments have spilled across timelines: she's protecting her role, she's protecting the series, she's playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. The phrase we keep seeing is an actress who owns her role, and people aren't wrong. When a performer loves the material enough to defend its future, you feel it in every scene. As for Barış, he's done what he usually does in moments like this: he has stayed quiet. That silence isn't disinterest, it's his style, the way he handles career decisions. He's known for picking with precision, for living inside a script until it yields its secrets or shows its cracks. The murmur from his circle is that he's open to the offer, more than open, but he wants clarity on the character's arc. He wants to know where the man starts, where he breaks, and where he ends. If that arc is honest, if it is earned, the door is understood to be wide open. Imagine the ripple if the papers are signed. Suddenly, Sahipsizler becomes the unexpected destination of the season, a place where a calm build can explode into gasps at midnight. And that's exactly what has set group chats ablaze: not just a cameo or a passing presence, but the kind of entrance that nudges the whole story off its axis and creates a new center of gravity. Let's talk about the role itself, the beating heart of these talks. It's said the character earmarked for Barış is a man with a past heavy enough to bow his shoulders, someone who has stitched a hard shell over a wound that still bleeds in the quiet. The blueprint reads like a map of scars: a trauma he doesn't speak about, a promise he couldn't keep, and a secret he guards like it's the last thing keeping him upright. The plan, according to whispers, is to cross his path with Yağmur's character in a way that ignites all the hidden circuits. Not volume, not speed, tension. Two people whose silences are louder than most people's shouts, who draw each other out like tides pulling at the shore. We're told Yağmur came prepared for her meeting with the director, laying out scene ideas that were not about grandstanding but about balance. She argued for shared power between characters, for the richness that comes from a bond built scene by scene, breath by breath. She talked about the audience's hunger for relationships that evolve under pressure, for tenderness that arrives in the unlikeliest moments. To make it feel earned, she argued, you need the right partner opposite you, someone who plays the truth as much as the lines. That, she said, is where Barış belongs. Crew members who were in earshot called her input professional and constructive. One described her approach as a quiet architect's hand, no drama, no theatrics, just patience and focus. They talked about sample scenes she walked through with the director, the pauses and turns, the beats where that tough exterior cracks. Those present say that, for a few minutes, you could feel the air shift, as if everyone could suddenly see the scene finished and framed. And if you think this is just about a single casting choice, think again. Insiders tell us that if Barış comes in, the writing team is ready to untangle and reweave whole strands of Sahipsizler. The intent isn't to blow up what's working but to bring secondary characters closer to the pulse of the main storyline, to deepen the web of past conflicts, to make old wounds sing in the present. The rumor is that his arrival would be the stone that makes new circles ripple to every edge of the plot, including a dramatic collision with Yağmur's character that could define the middle third of the season. Fans, of course, are already directing the movie in their heads. On social pages dedicated to both stars, the same wish keeps repeating: put them in the same frame and watch what happens. People remember Barış's steady, carved-out performances and imagine them set against Yağmur's luminous gravity. The bet among the comment threads isn't that it will be loud, it's that it will be deep. There's a particular kind of electricity when two understated performers share a scene, less fireworks, more slow-burn ember. And that, they say, is exactly the tone Sahipsizler seems to be aiming for. The production, meanwhile, is playing their cards close. That silence has a purpose. It always does. Some say they're waiting for scheduling issues to unknot. Others say the hold is about precision, about planning the stitch-by-stitch entrance of a character who can't simply be dropped into the plot like a guest at a dinner party. For this to work, he has to arrive with history, and that history has to matter from the first glance. There's another angle to this, and it's a bigger one. What Yağmur is doing, from suggestion to active creative collaboration, is part of a larger shift in the industry. Actors aren't content with memorizing lines and clocking out, they want to be part of the architecture, to hold the weight of the world they're building. This isn't about ego, it's about commitment. People near the production say she's been contributing to the atmosphere and tone beyond her scenes, asking questions about motifs, pacing, even the color temperature of certain sequences. That kind of engagement earns trust, and word is she has it in abundance from the producers. It's also said that this entire process has sharpened her own days on set. Instead of focusing solely on her marks, she's watching the spine of the story, how it breathes, where it tightens, where it needs air. She talks with the director not just about where her character is, but what the series is. Those conversations, we're told, have built a stronger bridge between performer and production, the kind that lets a creative team push for the ambitious choice without fear of fracture. Let us not forget the resonance of a name like Sahipsizler. On paper, it's a literal title, but emotionally, it's a truth about characters who feel untethered, unclaimed by the world. That's where this potential role for Barış finds its moral center. Imagine a man who walks like a survivor but sleeps like a ghost, and a woman who reads him with the precision of a lighthouse. Imagine how the camera lingers on them in a hallway after an argument, not on the words they said, but on the silence that follows, the silence that says more. Behind the scenes, the writers are rumored to be sketching alternate timelines to accommodate his story if everything aligns. There's talk of weaving in older conflicts that mirror the new, of tying threads from early episodes into a tightening knot, of letting revelations come not as speeches but as small, devastating recognitions. We're hearing that if he joins, one particular episode will function as a hinge, doors closing behind them, doors opening ahead, the series pivoting into a more intimate, more dangerous space. Naturally, fans are counting days without a calendar. They're posting edits, trading favorite lines from past roles, imagining palettes and music cues. And while behind-the-scenes intel always moves like a rumor tornado, there is a calm at the center of this one, cautious optimism. The people actually making the show aren't in a rush to feed the fire. They're in a rush to get it right. And that's the thread that runs through all of this. No one wants a splash that fades in a week. The ambition is quieter and bigger. A story that remembers itself, a partnership that makes the screen feel charged even when no one is talking. If this comes together, If the meetings turn into contracts, if the contracts turn into scenes, Sahipsizler might not just start strong. It might settle in and deepen the way the best shows do, episode by episode, look by look. One more thing that keeps buzzing through those studio corridors: chemistry. We're not talking about the obvious kind, the kind that announces itself with fireworks and a violin score. We're talking about the subtle current that runs under the floorboards, the kind that makes viewers lean forward without knowing why. The phrase attributed to someone in the writing room was telling: when these two meet, the drama doesn't shout, it resonates. That description isn't a flourish, it's a mission statement. So where are we tonight? The official line is the same as yesterday. No announcement yet. But the unofficial mood has shifted, and you can feel it. People are smiling when they shouldn't be, whispering over coffee, checking their phones between takes. No one wants to jinx it. Everyone wants the same headline. For now, that's where we leave you, on the edge of a possibility that feels bigger than gossip. If the rumors hold and the timing falls into place, you will see Yağmur, Yüksel and Baktaş share the frame in Sahipsizler, and the scenes they build might change the rhythm of the season. Until then, the set stays lively, the writers keep sketching, the producers keep counting board minutes, and the audience does what the audience does best: wait, talk, hope. You're watching Turkish Star Files, and we'll be the first to bring you the official word the moment it drops. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the whispers behind Sahipsizler, make sure you subscribe and share. Stay tuned, keep your notifications on, and remember, sometimes the quietest rumors write the loudest episodes. See you in the next video.